In this video, I'm not only going to tell you how you can make meaningful improvements to your finances in 6 months, but I'm also going to give you the tools to do it. Now, what it takes in order to make this change happen in just 6 months is very simple. It takes believing, learning, and doing. Most people won't make financial improvements at any point in their life, and that's typically due to one of 3 reasons. They don't think it's possible, they don't know how, or they know how, but they don't implement it. Now, you can call me an optimist, but I believe that any able-bodied person can lose 5 pounds in 6 months if they wanted to. I believe that any chronically fatigued person can make adjustments to their sleep schedule and feel overall better in 6 months or less. And I believe that anyone, regardless of income level, can make meaningful changes to their finances in just 6 months. So that's what we're going to cover today. Welcome to my channel. I am Lissa and I teach personal finance with an abundant mindset. Anybody is welcome here, but I especially want women of color to know that you deserve wealth like everyone else, and I've literally made it my mission to help get you all there. So, how can you improve your finances in 6 months? I'm going to break it down by month, but I'm going to be realistic with you. Month 1 has a lot of heavy lifting. In month 1, you're going to need to set a baseline because you need to know where you're starting. How are we going to know that you've made progress in 6 months if you don't know where you started? You're also going to need to start taking action. You're going to have to proactively work on different elements of your finances. Like I said earlier, you can learn all you want about personal finances, but until you start taking action, you're not going to see those changes happen. So to kind of simplify things, I'm going to have you focus on these 5 categories. Each month, you're going to take one action for each of these 5 categories. Your mindset, so your money mindset, saving, organizing, tracking, and spending. In month 1, you're going to be doing inventory. You're going to be setting that baseline that we just talked about. You're going to be gathering information. Then in months 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I'm going to have you focus on one action for each of those 5 categories with the goal that you're making progress every month. So in personal finance, there are so many things that you can be doing beyond these basics, mindset, saving, organizing, etc. But I want to keep this 6-month plan simple. I think that the most change can happen when you're focused and you're not overwhelmed by 42 different things that you got to do. Even 5 is kind of pushing it, but I think you can do it. So let's start with month 1. Month 1 is the setup. In the mindset category, to kick things off, what I want you to do in the first month is to set your intentions. This means setting financial goals and also starting to dig into your relationship with money. Here's how you can do it. Grab a pen and paper and write down 5 goals that are important to you that require money. For example, getting out of debt, investing for retirement, saving for a trip, saving for a sabbatical, saving for a new car. Then I want you to write out why. Why is each of these things important to you? I don't think it should be a priority of yours until you know exactly why you want it and what it'll do for your life. So if you want more examples of goals that you can set and you want to dig further, you can use my free workbook. It's called the Know Thyself Workbook, which I will link in the description. I'm going to mention a few resources in this video, but I will link everything in the description. All right, in the saving category, in the first month, I want you to start automating your savings. I often refer to this as paying yourself first if you've watched any of my other videos, and the concept is simple. Every time new money comes your way, you are going to automatically save a portion of that. I actually want you to set this up before you even know how much you can save on a monthly basis. I want you to just get started with it. So if you get paid a regular paycheck through your job, you can check with them to see if you can set up a second direct deposit. And then you're going to pick an amount that can go straight to savings every single paycheck. You can start with whatever minimum amount they allow is. This means you're going to pay yourself first, put that amount in your savings account automatically every paycheck, and then the rest is going to go to your checking account. Another way to set this up is using automatic transfers. So set that up and start saving any amount you can, even if it's a small amount, like $20. All right, organizing. In month 1, I want you to start getting organized both digitally and physically. What I mean is finances have a lot of documents involved, and you want to be able to keep track of all of those. I have a lot of other videos that help with this. For example, I have a video on 9 ways to declutter your finances. So check that out if you want ideas on how to get organized. But for month 1, I want you to pick one place in your home where you can keep financial related documents. Think about tax forms, bills that come in the mail, check stubs, anything related to your finances. I want you to keep in one place. It could be a filing cabinet, a folder, a desk, a drawer. Pick one place and make sure that moving forward, any documents that come your way, you're going to keep in that one place. Of course, you're going to attend to those items, but at the very least, you're getting organized and having it all in one place. Now, we live in a very digital world. A lot of people opt out of paper statements and anything requiring mail, and instead opt for email or simply receiving things digitally. So in addition to that physical place that you're going to keep your financial documents, I want you to pick a digital place, whether that is your computer desktop, Google Drive, iCloud, Dropbox, or any other safe place where you can organize all of your financial documents in one place. All right, I told you month 1 was going to have heavy lifting, so this is where the bulk of it happens. Tracking. In month 1, I want you to do 2 different exercises that are going to help you start tracking your finances moving forward. Those 2 exercises are calculating your net worth and also doing an audit on your cash flow. Now, if these words sound like gibberish to you, don't worry, because I have resources to help you out. If you don't currently use an app to track your finances or your net worth or your budget, then you can do these exercises for free with my free spreadsheets. It's going to be more manual because you're going to have to type stuff in, but I suggest that you actually do this exercise manually at least once in life, because even though it takes more time, it's going to help you understand what's really going on under the hood, what is happening with your finances. So let's run through some definitions. I want you to calculate your net worth, and net worth is a number that represents a financial snapshot of where you are right now. The way you calculate it is by adding up everything you own and subtracting anything you owe. Now, spoiler alert, I'm actually only going to have you check this now in month 1 as well as in month 6 to see if there's a difference. That's because, in my opinion, net worth is less important for your day-to-day finances. I just think it's important to know and track on a macro level. You want to make sure that all these little financial decisions you're making in your life have a big impact over time, and you use your net worth to track that. Now, cash flow. Tracking your cash flow and doing an audit on your cash flow is actually way more important when it comes to your day-to-day finances. In this cash flow exercise, I want you to look at how much money comes in versus how much money goes out in a given month. So for 1 month span, you're going to look at all of your income compared to all of your expenses. So when doing an audit, you're not guessing about what's coming in the future. I want you to look back at the last 30 days or look at last month where you have actual data. I want you to look at what you actually brought in and what you actually spent. If you're an overachiever, you can look back at the last 3 months or the last 6 months. It's going to be more work, but the more data you put into this and average out, the better idea you'll have of your finances. So like I said, I have free resources to help you with these exercises, and I'll link them in the description. But that is the heavy lifting for month 1, is calculating these numbers. All right, last category in month 1 is spending. In this category, I think you can improve your spending over 6 months, and the quickest, easiest way to do it is to take a look at your cash flow audit and take a look specifically at all of your past expenses and look closely at your money going out. If you want to get better at spending in the next 6 months, I want you to look specifically at the money that goes out, so your expenses, look at it closely and decide what 2 or 3 things can you either completely cut out or reduce. Look for the things that are nice to have, that you don't need. And in month 1, I just want you to select what those things are. All right, that is month 1. That's a lot. You got action items to do in 5 different categories, and specifically the tracking category has a lot to it. But I promise you the next few months are going to require a lot less time and energy, but you really, really need to get this baseline. Before we move on to month 2, I have a quick bonus tip as you approach month 1. I want you to set aside 1 to 1.5 hours every week on your calendar to work on your finances. You can call it a money date or call it anything you want. I just want to make sure you proactively carve out time for this. You're not going to have to do this for the remaining months. It's going to be less frequent, but I do want you to carve out this time, especially because month 1 has all of this heavy lifting. Month 2, you got everything set up. Now it's all about building better habits. In month 2, your goal is to simply stay the course. If you did everything that I outlined for month 1, you might feel exhausted right now. You might be worried that improving your personal finances is going to be so much work for the end of all time. And I promise you it's not. It's this initial learning curve and you don't have a lot of automation set up yet. It's going to feel like a lot, but it's not going to be like that forever. So what I want you to do is to review those 5 goals that you wrote down in month 1 and just check in with yourself. Make sure that these are still your priorities, because if they are, it's going to help you stay motivated and continue on this path to improve your finances in just 6 months. You set up your direct deposit or automatic transfer, or you've simply built the habit to automatically save anytime new money comes your way. So in month 2, I want you to increase that automated savings by at least $10 or $20 even. If you're unsure how much you can possibly save and still manage all of your day-to-day expenses, this is why I had you do the heavy lifting. You can look at your cash flow exercise and look at your money in versus your money out. If your money in is higher than your money out, it means that you're living within your means, which is a good thing. Now you can see how much surplus money you have on a monthly basis and use that as your guide to determine how much you want to increase your savings rate. So in month 2, this will take less than 5 minutes, but increase your savings amount. Organizing. For month 2, I want you to set up a recurring money date at a frequency that works for you. So in month 1, I suggested that you put an hour to an hour and a half on your calendar every week. I don't think it has to be that frequent. So you can either do this once a month or once every other week. It could be for just 30 minutes, maybe an hour. In the long run, there's a world where you'll be spending less and less time managing your finances. But right now, your goal to improve your finances is to be proactive. So I want to make sure that you don't let too much time pass where you're not working on something. So to get organized, set a recurring time block on your calendar at a frequency that works for you. At the end of the day, what I'm helping you do is build habits. Tracking. For month 2, I want you to keep a money diary. So this can be a little time consuming because it's going to require you to do something every single day. But for 1 month, I want you to track your money in versus your money out. So similar to how you did that audit and you looked at the past 30 days, I simply want you to track 30 days as it happens. So day 1, this is how much money came in, this is how much money went out, and this is what I spent it on. So you can actually use that same cash flow spreadsheet to do the tracking, or you can keep a physical diary, so a notebook where you jot everything down. The goal is simply to track it as you go, and then at the end of 30 days, you'll be able to take a look and see what your money in versus money out looks like. Does it match what it did last month? Were there any differences? Spending. In month 2, to improve your spending habits, I just want you to stick to your plan. You had picked out 2 to 3 things to cut back on or to remove from your spending, and all I want you to do in month 2 is to continue that. Continue to cut back on those things that you selected. All right, month 1 is down, month 2 is down. The next 3 months are gonna be a little bit lower touch, which is great for you because it's not gonna feel as overwhelming, but you're still gonna be building these habits to make improvements to your finances. So month 3 is about continuing to strengthen this financial foundation that you have set. This month, it's all about focusing on really small but very impactful changes. Mindset. For mindset, I want you to journal at least 1 time this month about money. Set a timer for 10 minutes and journal about money. So if you had downloaded my workbook, it has prompts in there, but I'll also drop a link in the description to a blog post of mine that has some journal prompts. My goal here is to help you continue exploring your relationship with money. In the long run, and especially beyond these 6 months, I want you to continue building up your confidence with your finances. And part of that is getting your finances in a good place, having more money, building more wealth. But part of that is also digging into your relationship with money. And that's what I think journaling can do for you. Saving. In month 3, I want you to set up your emergency fund. Your emergency fund is an amount of money that you're going to set aside just for emergencies. Common guidance is to save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, but it can vary depending on your situation. Now, if you are a beginner to personal finance and you do not have an emergency savings at all, just focus on a starter emergency fund of about $1,500. I think $1,500 is a good amount to get you started and can save you from a lot of different emergencies. Now, if you completed that cash flow exercise in month 1, like I asked you to, you will be able to look at that, look at the spreadsheet to look at your monthly expenses amount. You can take that number and multiply it by 3 or 6, and that gives you a solid goal to start saving towards. Now, in month 3, when I say I want you to set up your emergency fund, my very simple guidance is to use a dedicated account. I personally don't like to mix my emergency fund money with other savings money because it's easy to borrow and take from the wrong bucket. I personally think that the emergency savings bucket is so important that it needs its own account. So if you already have an existing account, maybe you just start treating that account like your emergency fund account. Or if you don't have one, you can look into opening a new savings account. Organizing. In month 3, I want you to use your recurring money date that you set up to get organized. Remember, we talked about putting a money date in your calendar once a month, twice a month, and this is just dedicated time to work on your finances. In month 3, I want you to specifically use one of those money dates, one of those time blocks, to work on your finances. Now, I know that saying work on your finances is very broad, but that's because it is. I simply want you to build the habit of paying attention to your finances and dedicating time to it. So here are some places you can start. You can use the time to review the documents that you've put in your physical folders or your digital folders. Remember, the ones that you set up in month 1. You can use the time to pay bills. Any bill that you have that doesn't pay automatically, you can use this time to pay those bills. You can review your expenses. Look for recurring subscriptions. Think about whether you want to keep them or cancel them or pause them. And you can also use this time to shred documents that you no longer need. A lot of times we collect all these documents, we've already paid the bill, we have a digital copy, but we still hold on to them. I want you to get organized and use your time for your money date to start getting organized. Tracking. Going back to month 1, I asked you to review your cash flow, and we've touched on it a couple times. And then in month 2, I asked you to keep a money diary, which is basically tracking your cash flow as it happens. And I said that you should do that for the whole month. So now that you have this data from your money diary, I want you to go through it and to categorize your expenses. You can categorize everything how you want, but if you want to keep it simple, just use these categories: needs, wants, debt payments, and then savings and investments. That's it. Just do that exercise. I just want you to start understanding how your money is being divvied up. Spending. In month 3, in this last category of spending, I want you to do something slightly different. I want you to reevaluate those categories that you cut out. Remember, I told you to pick 2-3 things, cut them out from your budget or reduce them from your budget. So in theory, you've gone about 2 months without these things. I want you to build up this habit of intentional spending. So evaluate those things you cut out. And your goal this month, month 3, is to decide, should I keep cutting those out? Was it worth it? Did I even miss those things? Or should I add them back in? Am I missing out on the value that they bring to me? It's okay to add things back in if you realize that they fit into the budget and you really miss them and they really bring value to your life and it's not worth cutting it out. My goal here isn't to make you feel limited and to live a frugal life your entire life. Instead, the way I approach improving your finances includes becoming an intentional spender, not just in these 6 months, but beyond that. I want you to spend your money aligned with your goals and values. So that's simply what you're doing, is bringing awareness to the things that you're spending your money on. All right, we have 3 months down, 3 months to go. But first, a quick announcement. If you like how I teach personal finances, then you will absolutely love Hello Money Bootcamp. I know I tend to have long YouTube videos and I give a lot of information away for free, but Hello Money Bootcamp has all that information, but so much more. This is my signature online course that's meant for beginners if you really want to jumpstart your financial progress. I actually used to teach Hello Money Bootcamp in person, but for the first time, I am now making it available on demand so that you can complete it at your own pace. If you're interested in Hello Money Bootcamp, definitely check the pinned comment as well as the description, and I'll leave the information below. Moving on to months 4 and 5. We're putting these together because these months are kind of a little more chill. We've got things moving, we're getting in a rhythm. So for months 4 and 5, I want you to keep it simple and stay consistent. By now, you've built some habits, you've gotten a baseline, you've gotten organized. You are now dedicating time to your finances on a regular basis. You're also learning that some elements of personal finance can be very easy and very low touch. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, like how you're automating your savings, right? You're paying yourself first. So the good news is months 4 and 5 are simple and should be smooth sailing. Mindset. Take a moment each month to revisit your financial goals that you wrote down in month 1. Do a reflection to ask yourself, are these still my top priorities? Have I made progress on any of them? And do I need to adjust anything? Your goal isn't to overhaul everything, but I just want you to stay connected to your why. Stay connected and stay motivated by knowing exactly why you want to keep improving your finances. All right, savings. Now you're already saving automatically, and I had you bump up that amount very slightly. In months 4 and 5, I want you to continue increasing your savings amount if you are able to. If your cash flow tells you that you can, I want you to increase it by whatever amount feels doable. These small increases are gonna add up over time. You're gonna be so happy later that you automated this. Organizing. For month 4 and month 5, I want you to use one of your money date sessions to do a quick check-in on your organization. Are your digital files and your physical files still organized? Is there anything that you can declutter? Do you have any financial tasks that need to be handled? This is about maintaining the systems you've already set up. Maybe you don't need the full 30 minutes or the full hour. You just want to get into the habit of checking in on everything, making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Tracking. In months 4 and 5, I want you to take a look at the categories that you set up in month 3. You divided things up by needs, wants, debt payments, and savings and investments. Simply look at how your money is divided and ask yourself, is there a trend here? Is there anywhere that I can adjust? It's not about being perfect. It's not about fixing everything all at once. It's just about being aware and starting to get in control and feel in control of your financial decisions. Now, I have a little thing I want to point out, a little tangent, but I want you to know that there is a world where you do not have to track your finances this closely. This is not something you're going to have to do forever. It's that if you're starting out with your personal finances, or you really want to see improvements, especially in this 6-month span, consider this a phase in life where you keep closer tabs. There may be other phases in life where things are just automated and flowing very regularly, and you don't have to spend this much time on it. It's gonna ebb and flow. So I just don't want you to feel like this is another full-time job and that it's gonna be like this forever. Spending. All right, I want you to do the exact same thing you did in month 3, which is check in. Check in on, is there anything that you can reduce your spending on or that you can cut out completely? Or is there anything you want to add in or add back in because it's important to you? Make those adjustments and move on. All right, we've gone through 5 months. We are now at month 6. Whether or not you believe it, I believe it. You have absolutely already made huge progress in 6 months, in 5 months, 6, whatever number we're at. Month 6 is literally about reflecting on your progress and making improvements, and also staying committed to go beyond these 6 months. So let's break down what you should do in each category in month 6, and I hope that this has gotten you started to continue the journey beyond these 6 months. So for your mindset, I want you to Write down 3 of your wins in the past 6 months, whether they're big or small. Maybe you've saved more money. Maybe you just feel less stressed about money. Maybe you built a habit that actually sticks, right? Maybe you did more money dates than you thought you would. If you can acknowledge your wins, you're gonna stay motivated on this journey. Saving. I'm gonna cheat here and I'm gonna suggest that you actually do 2 different things rather than just one in month 6. But it's my video, so I call the shots. I want you to do 2 things in month 6 as it relates to saving. Number 1, I want you to review your emergency fund. Is it fully funded? If not, keep going. But number 2, if you do think it's fully funded, I want you now to define your next milestone. What is the next thing you are gonna save for? Go back to month 1, look at those goals that you wrote down, and decide which is the next thing that you need to prioritize and save for. And don't forget to use the pay yourself first method to continue saving for these various buckets. All right, organizing. In month 6, I want you to decide how often you are going to do financial check-ins moving forward. I actually have 2 action items for you again here. One is to decide how often you'll do your money dates, your day-to-day check-ins. Is it once a month? Is it once every other week? What is going to work for you to manage your finances? And then I also want you to set a bigger check-in. This might be once a year or twice a year. And that's because there are some things in your finances that you can check in on just once or twice a year. This could be reviewing or changing insurance coverages. It could be getting organized for tax season. It could be resetting your financial goals. And also it can be checking your net worth, which leads me to tracking. For tracking, this is the fun part. You calculated your net worth in month 1. I already spoiled it earlier. I want you to do it again right now. I want you to compare month 1 to month 6. Is there a difference? Even small progress is a win. Now, if for some reason you didn't increase your net worth, then I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you were hit with some emergencies or some uncontrollable, unexpected things in life, or maybe you have a lot of debt right now. But ultimately, even if that were the case, I want you to know that in this 6-month span, if you followed the plan and the various things I told you to do in this video, you have made progress. I don't care what the numbers say. I'm hoping those numbers have gone up, but if you followed everything else, you have absolutely made progress because you're being proactive with your finances. Last bucket, spending. Now moving forward, I want you to choose how you're going to continue to build these good spending habits. If that means that you continue to cut things out of your budget because you want to save more, that's cool. Or if it means not being a huge stickler on yourself, that's fine too. The goal is to be intentional. What I don't want you to do ever is to be spending your money on things that you just don't care about. The more you do this exercise of awareness and being intentional, you'll continue to align your money with your own goals and values. All right, that was a lot. That was a whole 6-month plan that you can use to improve your finances. I hope that the way I laid it out is realistic, manageable, and hopefully sustainable, especially beyond 6 months. But going back to what I said at the beginning, in order to make these improvements and to make progress, you have to believe it's possible to improve. You have to learn how, and I hope I gave you a lot of the how in this video, but you also have to do it. You have to implement what you learn. You don't need to overhaul your entire life or stress over perfection. I just want you to make small, consistent changes that build momentum over time. And if that means focusing on just one area instead of the 5 that I laid out here, do that. As long as you can make small changes, you'll see long-term results. All right, I hope it was helpful. Until next time, peace out.